firing a teacher is always a big deal, and if you fire them for just, misgendering somebody once, then that's... I don't think that that's appropriate behavior. So let's see why they're there. Okay, so this one got sprung up on me. I had a different set of research I wanted to do for this, but then that kind of got thrown out the window. So we're just going to go ahead and do this live, organic, raw, and without protection. So it's time to go ahead and talk. How's it going, Braden? We're about to talk about a math teacher who apparently got accused of misgendering a pupil and therefore got fired. So, we're going to get into that. But first, before we get into that, we need to actually get into the fan art section. This one is from Ruvok. Said, decided to take a break from my usual dramatic themes and mess with some slice of life. Enter Suris playing video games. Also, Blizzy. Tiny baby Blizzy, right there, ready to go. Aw. The next one we have here is from Ulta. It said, I commissioned Pernia to do some Suris art for a Christmas gift for Suris and Raz. I asked to keep the art private until the gifts arrived. The two of them can show their gifts if they wanted, but I wanted to share the art that was used in them. I paid my parents to have the art lasered on, and thanks again, Pernia. So, obviously, this was commissioned back when me and Raz were together. We're still friends, though. That's why Raz still takes care of the Discord. But the artwork is fucking fantastic. I mean, of course it is. It's Pernia's art. Pernia always does just an absolutely stellar job anytime she touches a pen. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get right into things after I go ahead and do the, ara that Cinderone has just paid for with channel points. Axo, thank you for redeeming your points for an OWL. So the Suris train is on the right topic track. It is for now. But I noticed that most of the articles that were talking about this were all like Daily Wire, BBC, Daily Mail. Just a lot of people that you would basically assume would come on one side of this. It's not a typo. No, a lot of different countries say maths as a shorthand for mathematics, not math. Like, here in the States, we say math class, but a lot of places will say maths class, because for them, that's short for mathematics. So. But I wanted to go ahead and look at this article and see kind of how I felt here, because firing a teacher is always a big deal, and if you fire them for just, misgendering somebody once, then that's... I don't think that that's appropriate behavior. So let's see why they're there. A math teacher failed to separate the teacher from the preacher when he allegedly misgendered a transgender pupil repeatedly and oh, well, that's already different. That's repeated. That's different. Repeatedly and inappropriately sharing his religious beliefs in the classroom. A misconduct panel heard that. Joshua Sutcliffe, 32, was accused by the Teaching Regulation Agency of conduct that negatively affected pupils on multiple occasions during his time at schools in Oxford and London. He denies the charges of professional misconduct, however. In 2017, Sutcliffe took legal action against the Sherwell School in Oxford after he was disciplined and eventually dismissed after failing to use a pupil's preferred pronoun on multiple occasions due to his religious conviction. He went on to give an interview on television breakfast show This Morning about the issue, which made it likely the pupil referred to only as Pupil A would be identified, said Andrew Cullen for the TRA. At a teacher misconduct hearing in Coventry on Monday, Cullen and Sutcliffe prioritized his own interests above that of the pupils. Sutcliffe, who regularly preaches on the streets... Oh no, we got a fucking street preacher? My guy, please, get out of everybody's lives in that way. Please, please don't. I'm sorry, street preachers are fucking cringe. Anyways, He has given out more than 2,000 Bibles to members of the public. He denies all the charges of professional misconduct and is being supported by the Christian Legal Center, because of course he is. Michael Phillips, representing Sutcliffe, said the teacher was entitled to freedom of speech and not to be compelled to say something he did not agree with. That depends. So let's go ahead and give you a quick example of why this particular concept is a little bit bullshit. Let's say you believe wholeheartedly that black people are inferior to white people. You believe that your genetics as a white person are just fan-fucking-tastic, and the genetics of a black person are just not quite up to par, and so you're not really big for miscegenation because you really don't want your pure white genes getting stained with black people DNA. Sounds fucking awful, right? Well, let's say you believe that. Once upon a time, that was actually considered a fairly normal belief for people. So if you believed that once upon a time, that was just okay to do, and you could have a fight in a school classroom or any legal area to defend your right to talk about that in front of students, because that was considered normal. Now, you and I today would agree that, that particular belief structure, that particular set of beliefs is abhorrent, it's cruel, it's stupid, and it's wrong. So why would we support somebody having those beliefs now? Well, that's with 50, 60, 70 years of perspective. That's what's happening here. 50, 60, 70 years from now, with perspective, people will look at this situation and go, yeah, no, fuck this guy. But there's a conversation now because, quite frankly, it's trendy to be more transphobic these days in conservative circles. You know what else is trendy? Going to the Shadow Wolf's house and taking a ball peen hammer and just having a conversation with them. Because anybody who drops 50,001 channel points to force me to say, oh, well, deserves that. Just a conversation, Shadow Wolf. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. That said, moving on from that, let us go ahead and continue the article itself. Maggie Himiko, thank you for the hydrate. Wash that out of your mouth. He added that there is no evidence that it was in Pupil A's best interest to have preferred pronouns used. Lawyers who do this should just die in a fire. Just saying. No. I understand that as a lawyer, you don't actually get to talk about what you believe. You just have to do everything to represent your client and client's best interest. No, in a situation like this, when you go like, it's not in the pupil's best interest to refer to the pupil the way that the pupil wants to be referred to. Bitch, I don't care if the pupil's pronouns can't be pronounced except by the elders of Zeech. At least try. It's not your call as the teacher. It is this fun conservative paradox. The teacher can have no agency where the student is concerned if the student is trans. The teacher must be compelled to notify the parents and all of those involved and all the authorities so that the student's transness can be known by the people who care for reasons. But then, simultaneously, the teacher can use all of their agency if it is to misgender the student. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's a paradox. It's an absolute paradox. If a student says, hey, my pronouns are X, it doesn't take you any effort at all to just accept that. If somebody says, hey, my pronoun is he, and they look like a she, well, you know what? They're a he. Simple as that. That's a very easy thing to do. When somebody says, hey, my pronouns are they. Okay, cool. Neat. Alternatively, you can, if you are uncomfortable using somebody's pronouns, you can just refer to them by their name. That's a thing you can do. That is an option you have. And I know that there's certain arguments about whether or not that in and of itself is transphobic, not wanting to use somebody's preferred pronoun. It is a level of transphobia. However, I hate it when my playlist gets to this one. I hate it. It hurts my ears so much. But I would like to raise you that at the very least, your chosen name is better than misgendering. It simply is. It's not as good as simply referring to somebody by their pronouns. It's not, oh my god, it did it twice. Nope, we're done. We're done. No proto-man, not if it means my ears have to bleed. The best thing you can do if you really somehow feel uncomfortable with using a trans person's pronouns is to just use their name. It does not hurt you at all. The best thing to do is to just refer to somebody how they want to be referred. But most trans people I know will be okay so long as you're willing to not misgender them, not name them something that they are not, and use the name they chose for themselves. That's better. It's better than what we were out. But he added there was no evidence that Sutcliffe had denied the pupil A their education or harassed them. Repeated misgendering is harassing. I'm sorry. And that he disputed some of the allegations. Sutcliffe claimed he misgendered the pupil in their presence on only one occasion and apologized. Interesting. That's a different claim entirely than what's being shown there. The hearing heard Sutcliffe, who also alleged to have shared his views... Oh my fucking god! He also is alleged to have said that same-sex marriage was wrong during a math lesson. You see now, kid, you see now. I have to tell you about how I feel. Back in my day, I'm 23 by the way, back in my day, we knew basic math. 1 plus 0 equals 3 in 9 months. But if it's 1 plus 1, it doesn't add up to anything. And if it's 0 plus 0, it's just a pair of scissors. None of that makes any sense in the Bible. 1 plus 0 equals 3. But again, wait 9 months. That's real math right there. Just no. None of that is important for a fucking math lesson. I'm sorry. Suris, what is the smallest soul bag? 12 slaughter. 12 slaughter. Although he claimed it was during a Bible group he had set up at the school. I'm sorry, even if it's a Bible group, I really don't think you should be doing that. These are kids that need to be taught, you know, good things, not bad things. Smacko says 1 plus 1 equals 2 pairs of scissors, plus pair of scissors equals 4, so mathematically scissors are superior. No, Smacko. 0 plus 0 is a pair of scissors. 1 plus 1 doesn't add up to anything, except a sword fight. And 1 plus 0 equals 3. In 9 months. Pinching bridge of nose.
This is a math class, sir. Sir, this is a Wendy's. This is a Wendy's.
Bradenware says, I'm gonna hang out a little bit because now I'm leaving. See you, Braden. Have fun. Have fun. Oh, by the way, Braden, I know you mentioned on Twitter that you were looking forward to the collab with me and Fushi. So that should actually be on Monday. But going on to more stuff from this here. He also alleged to show pupils a video about masculinity, which stated, passive men don't protect, defend, or provide. That's just fashy shit. That's the fucking, like... That's the whatchamacallit, the strong men make good times make soft men make bad times make strong men. That whole, like, debacle is just fascism. I'm sorry. That's just a calling card for garbage. In November 2019, Sutcliffe was dismissed from another school, St. Aloysius's in North London, over a video uploaded to his YouTube channel in which he stated Muslims have a false understanding of God, and that the fruit of Islam is not peace, it's division. My guy! Christianity has been in your nation for a long time, and believe me, they have sowed a lot of division. Do not pretend for even a massive second that Christianity is any better in this particular scenario. If Christianity was not about division, then there would not be multiple divisions of Christianity. There's nothing wrong with being a Christian, but there is certainly something to be said about, this particular line of reasoning, or lack thereof. The hearing heard a number of Sutcliffe students followed and interacted with the channel, and Sutcliffe had told students to look out for the next video. Phillips said Phillips would often ask Sutcliffe questions about his views, and pupils would often ask Sutcliffe about his views and maybe go as far as to goad him. Maya Forstar, who last year won a legal claim that she was unfairly discriminated against because of her gender-critical beliefs, gave evidence in support of Sutcliffe. She argued the schools should avoid implementing trans-affirming policies for students who identify as the opposite sex. The fact that you managed to win says a lot. I'm sorry. I don't know the actual, like... I don't know the actual meat and potatoes of what happened with Maya Forstar there. I think we may have done a video on it at one point, but it has since left my brain meats. But taking that win and then going like, actually, we probably should just, you know, discriminate against trans kids. Because when you don't implement trans-affirming policies, the inverse is likely going to be true. Since she didn't win, she won an appeal. Oh, so she didn't actually win the legal claim. This is different. Oh, cool! Wait, is this from Turf Island? Yes. Giving evidence at the hearing, Forstrader says if a child socially transitions in school, if they are accepted and treated as really the opposite sex, then that creates a demand for children to then have medical treatment. No, it does not! No, it does not! Social transition can be its own end for many people. Look. I am a cis dude, okay? But I know there are people who have gotten awkward egg vibes from my channel. It would be very, very simple for me to just be VTuber Avatar 100% of the time and then just socially transition, if that was a thing that I chose to do. That can be an endpoint for plenty of people. Not everybody. Not everybody. Certainly some people do need medical intervention, but usually that's not kids, unless we're talking about puberty blockers, which are made, you know, for kids. But this is the slippery slope argument. It's a fallacy. It's the argument that, oh, well, if we accept one thing, we must accept another. What was it that we did with gay marriage in the United States? If we accept the marriage of the gays, what happens when they want to fuck dogs? We're talking about gay men, not white women. Please don't bring horses into the conversation. White women and Vosh are not supposed to be near them. There's a restraining order on the entirety of the species. This is where I just want to, like, be a dick and continue the rest of the video in femme voice. Because, you know, doing the rest of the video like this, fuck the entire thing. It's very easy to do. I can just do this. Sarah Chikorita says, am I transitioned socially? Pretty much. Would I go further? Yes. Not legally. Avalon says, Vosh is never beating the horse fucker allegations. No, never. Never. He really can't. He likes horsecock too much. But I'm not going to do that, because there's people who want me to do that voice, and y'all are weird, so, bye. But, continuing on here, giving the evidence at the hearing, Four-Star said, okay, we already did that. Schools with the best intentions can lock children into a pathway that is going to lead them to do harm to their bodies, which can't be undone. That's projection. Literally, the best intentions you think you have are the ones that are making it to where kids can't socially transition safely, and that locks them into a pathway of sometimes suicidality. But okay, sure. Smacko says, Sigh, name your price, Suris. I'm not putting a price on that. Look, if you guys want that, if that's a thing you want, my price is whatever the fuck the actual full-on price will be for fixing my kitchen. And none of you can afford that. Not a one. Vosh in French means cow, so he really just loves hooved animals. Vosh is sitting there like, you know everybody. Cloven hooves. Am I right? None of us can, but all of us can. Oh my god. The misconduct hearing continues. That's what it says here. He argued that compelling students and teachers to use preferred pronouns for transgender pupils while was asking them to take part of a belief system they might not agree with. It is asking the trans student to take part in a belief system they don't agree with when you force them to not be called what they want to be called. Whereas on the opposite end, just calling somebody what they want to be called is common courtesy. If somebody goes, hello, Christopher, would you prefer to be called Chris, actually? Same fucking energy. Same energy. Stop saying horses and cows don't have cloven hooves. I know. But does Vosh? So what happened to Suris' kitchen? Hermit Electric, too many cats, not enough waterproofing, and a need to remove an entire subfloor and rebuild cabinets. That's what's going on there. So didn't I hear a story once about a Christopher who got mad because people insisted that he be Chris when he preferred to be called Topher? So when did Vosh become a goat fucker? I don't know. But you know, I've played enough World of Warcraft to know Draenei couldn't get it. Anyway, as always, everybody, thank you all for the fan art submissions this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, everyone, insert end the video tagline here.